How's it going, everybody? I am Jake Barris. I'm a senior here at Justice. I play football, wrestling, and baseball. Today, we've got an interview with Dean Camshire and Coach Forshay and Coach Weisbecker. So I'll let everybody introduce themselves. There you go, guys.
All right, I'm Dean Campshire, senior at Justice. I play football, basketball, and baseball.
Mr. Weisbecker. I'm a teacher at Justice High School. I'm also the head varsity football coach. This is my 5th year at Justice.
I'm Coach Forshay. This is year 5 as well. Not an accident that both of us, Coach Weisbecker, are in this together as we usually are. Varsity boys soccer coach and assistant director of student activities. And I teach the athletics leadership class with these two fine gentlemen.
So as you said right there, Coach Forshay, you guys are always together, always doing stuff together, good friends. How has that friendship affected your guys' coaching and teaching and all that?
It's had a really big impact. I probably talked to Coach W through text or through phone as much as I talk to my wife. But I really think it's because we're trying to bounce ideas off each other and learn from one another. I think I've got some good ideas that he wants to take, and I might have some that he doesn't like, and he gives me some suggestions or criticisms, and vice versa. And I think we are both similar in the approach of we love our programs, but we just love justice. So, I take pride in the fact that I could probably list off the name of 30, 40, 50 football players. I've got 20 to 25 varsity guys, and I think Coach Weisbecker could name half of them, and we take a lot of pride in that. We have fun, and we love working together.
That's great. Coach W, anything to add to that?
Yeah, well said, Forshay. Just going hand in hand with a lot of different things that we've done over the years, whether it's teaching in the classroom or with our sports teams or just in our athletics department as a whole. Forshay, you got it all right there. Just great relationship as far as everything that we do professionally and personally. And we're excited about the impact that we can have on all of you. Like you said, we love justice. We love all of our athletic programs and the things that we have to offer here. So we're just looking to get better every single day possible for our students.
That's awesome. Great. So I also wanted to ask, the culture around Jeb Stuart Justice Sports has changed a lot, especially within the last 5 years. It definitely started, I think, probably before that, maybe 6-7 years ago. How have you guys specifically influenced that change in the culture?
That's a great question, and there's really a lot to it. Like we said, we came in at the same time, and we went throughout the entire name change process with the teachers, coaches, and our athletic department. There was a lot to it, a lot of positive success that we had with that. Forshay, you want to talk a little bit about the impact that it had on athletics and how we were trying to instill a new culture for us, new energy, things for all of the camaraderie and our community to come together?
Yeah, I think when Coach W and I got here, when we looked at the athletes that were in the building, combined with the coaches that had been newly hired, recently hired, or even some of our veteran coaches, we thought those two things put together, we thought we could win championships and we thought we could be successful. So I think it was just really I don't know if the right word is convincing or if the right word is reminding or if it's coming to light, but we wanted our entire community to know, our teachers to know, our coaches to know, our players to know that we could win and be successful. And we didn't mind being at the forefront of that, to expect to, develop and improve every day and to, win district tournaments and win bell games and to do all those things. I think we both have the same idea of this why not us? Why can't Justice do it? You can't give me any reasons why we can't. We have the tools, we have the facilities, we have the athletes in the building. We just got to put them all together. So it's been a process. but we're going in.
I'll say the community, our parents, our administration has really been very supportive over the years for setting a framework for success, for involvement, engagement with students and families, and for our school to take pride in where they are, and to take pride in what they do. So you hit it right on the nail right there, Coach. Just everybody coming together as one.
And that starts with, like, Garvey and Principal Eck, right? When we come to them with ideas or initiatives or things we want to do, if they think it's going to benefit our athletes, they say yes. They let us run with it, and that goes a long way.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.
One thing I've noticed with the just how it works with the school and like what it's like is that there's such a great environment with like you two, Sutphin, Garvey, Coach B, everyone that's working around the building. And it seems like everyone's helping each other. I know plenty of guys like Coach B. I know you, Coach Forshay, have given me like coaching tips for basketball after you saw a game. Coach B's definitely been keeping me accountable for, like, I was late to one basketball practice, and he called me in and talked to me for a couple minutes about it. And it's just like everyone's working with each other, and it's just such a great environment. Everyone's helping each other get in better shape with lifting, everything like that. And even when you guys don't, when people play different sports than what you coach. So
I think because we love working here. I think there's so many different things. We love the coaches that are here. We love the administration for giving us the support. But for us, like, we love the kids. I love the combination of everything that Justice brings to us in terms of who's living over here in Lake Barcroft, who's living over here in Coolmore, who's living over here in Skyline, and how we just can be this melting pot together. And it's fun. I enjoy coming here every day. Because of all the things that you just said. I love the fact that I've got no problem if Coach B or Sutphin or Coach White or Weisbecker wants to hold one of my boys accountable, because I trust them. And as I say that, maybe that's what it is. It's the level of trust that we all have in one another.
I heard one thing a couple of years ago that really had an impact on me. You hear the phrase, "the grass is always greener on the other side," and I heard this from a coach at a clinic. That's not always the case. Why are you comparing yourself or your school or anything to somebody else, looking at somebody else's grass? You got to water your own grass. You got to take care of your lawn. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your school. You got to have pride in what you do, pride in everything, at your school, in your sports program, like that. So the grass is not always greener on the other side. All right. And you got to worry about yourself. Take pride in what you do, and make what you have as successful as possible. And that's something that we're always trying to, instill in everyone here. Take pride in it and improve every day.
Definitely. So, Coach Forshay, I know you grew up around here. You went to Falls Church. How has growing up in the area and going to Justice's rival high school, how has that influenced your coaching at Justice and just overall?
Sure. So the backstory on me is that, I went to Longwood University, which is like an hour west of Richmond. I never thought I'd come back. I thought I'd relocate to Charlottesville or Richmond, or I never thought I'd come back, and I did. And in terms of the relationship with Falls Church, I graduated Falls Church 2006. Like, I'm not going to lie, I take a little bit of pride in it, but Coach is talking about, keeping your grass green. I take pride, like, who knows if this is going to explode on social media, but we've never lost to Falls Church. I take pride in that. Because I think it's fun. The rivalry's fun. So it's definitely interesting being a graduate and now over here, but it's important. So it was some interesting feels being at the Bell game and being on the sideline and seeing the student section of one group, which was large and in charge, and student section of the other that maybe wasn't. But at the end of the day, it's a fun rivalry, and I'm happy I'm a Justice Wolf, man.
Speaking about the Bell game, Coach W, let's talk about Dean and I's freshman year when we won it, and then when we won it again last year? What was going through your head during the game, before the game, after the game, in both years?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say each year it's a great rivalry. Both teams are very competitive. Coach Aziz and the Falls Church students are very competitive. They always have a great program together. They've won a lot of championships, and that's what we're striving to do also. So having that game at the end of the year and having it impact how the district is going to be, who gets first, who gets second, whatever. That is a lot looking forward to that game. So every single year, I mean, I could talk for hours about this. There's always so many great stories. Kind of like when we were talking about setting a culture and a standard earlier, before we won a couple years ago, it was a very long time that we won that game.
Yeah.
So, and in such dramatic fashion, winning in the last second, that was right before the name change too. So when that game happened and we had a sense of success and confidence going into that off season, and then we had a new name change, a new coaching staff, and the students bought into what we wanted to do, that had a huge impact going into our program. And honestly, winning has a huge impact on the camaraderie of the school, and it also has an impact on other programs. So if one sports team is winning and being very successful, like Coach Forshay's team, that same year was in the Final Four of the entire state. Like, that sets the bar high for everybody else. Believe in yourself. You do what you're supposed to do, you can be really successful. So the bar set high, and winning obviously had a huge impact. But it's honestly on and off the field, like we told you earlier.
Definitely.
Believing in the little things, showing up on time, working hard in the classroom, stuff like that. But, just to summarize with the Bell game, it's always competitive every year. You win some, you lose some, but we got a lot of respect for Falls Church and everything that they do with their athletics department. It's just a cool, respectable rivalry that we all have, and something that you'll reflect on the rest of your life as just some fun sports games.
Yeah, it's a forever memory. Those Bell games are forever memories. That's pretty cool that that's set up, in your high school experience.
For sure. So, Coach W, you were named head coach after that first Bell game win, Dean and I's freshman year. What was it like being named head coach after being an assistant, and being named head coach so young?
Yeah, it's a great question. Honestly, Mr. Garvey and Miss Gross really helped me through that transition and instilled a lot of confidence in myself. It was just something that I was really looking forward to do. And I was really glad that I had the couple years prior to build the relationships with all of you. And it's really a testament to the students, because it's not about me, it's about all of you guys. So having the confidence in yourself and in what we wanted to do as a program, and also we had all the coaches bought in to being supportive and wanting to be successful. We've had a lot of parents that have been involved and supportive, wanting all of you to be successful on and off the field. So it really wasn't an intimidation factor as far as like my age or where I was at in my career. It was more just like, right place, right time. This is a good opportunity to go after. And Mr. Garvey, Miss Gross were really supportive and set us all up for success with everything that we did. So that was definitely an exciting time. And the last couple of years have been awesome, not in just football, but in our athletics department. So really excited for the, future.
Definitely. Thank you. So Coach Forshay, you kind of have a interesting career path. You're at PVI in 2016 coaching the women's soccer team, and you coached them to the WCAC championship. What was that like, and what lessons did you learn from coaching women's soccer at the high school level that you brought over to Justice?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's some good research. Yeah, so I spent 3 years at PVI. Prior to Justice, I was at Fairfax High School. So obviously that's right down the road from PVI. So awesome opportunity to do the high school thing for Fairfax in the spring and PVI in the fall. So that's kind of how that started. But it is there's similarities and there's differences. But I think when you're kind of dealing with both groups, so whether it be boys or girls, you can kind of put the how do I say this? Maybe the characteristics or the mannerisms or whatever aside and really focus on developing as a soccer coach. So it doesn't matter if they're boys or they're girls or some are 14, some are 18. It's really developing as a coach about the X's and O's of the game. And then once you can kind of continue to work on that, then it's building the relationships with kids, right? So the way that I talk to Jake and Dean is different than maybe how I would communicate with some of my, freshman PE students, which might be different from how I communicate with a couple of varsity soccer players at PVI. So learning how to deliver that information when, as a coach, I think Coach Weisbecker and I agree, we're not afraid to give harsh criticisms because I think we know that the kids care about, that we care about the kids. Is just delivering it in different ways is definitely something that I learned and I've taken to Justice that I think has helped me be successful. And I think kids trust me because I can give it to them straight, but I do it in a way that's comfortable.
Definitely. Dean, anything to add?
Nothing much right now. What are you guys' most memorable coaching moments at Justice?
Man, there's so many good just games or honestly is in just different moments. It's kind of hard to give one. I would say like just honestly the little things like hitting the weight room in the off season, being able to build relationships with the guys. Like that's something that's meaningful to me. I mean, it might sound silly, but last year was pretty cool. As far as we had a lot of first time things in our program, like consecutive years with a winning record and making the playoffs. Those things haven't happened in a really long time. So that's something that you all should be really proud about. The past couple of years, we've had a handful of guys each year go Division III, Division II, Division I football, all three divisions, all every single year. And that's been awesome, great for our program. So just, little things like that, watching the different successes with all of you individually, and then even the students that move on and graduate and stay in touch with all of us.
Yeah, I think my favorite memory, like it's easy to talk about championships, but I'm going to kind of bring up a specific moment that I'm sure, Jake was even part of, maybe Dean is, we had won the district championship and everyone ran on the field and that was frowned upon, but it was awesome. But so when we won the region championship, I just have this memory. I don't even exactly remember who scored or how we won, but we won the game and that's obviously awesome. But I have this memory of turning around and just looking at all of our students on the fence line and they're just waiting for Coach Sutphin to say go. And they're just waiting and they're starting to creep on the track and they're waiting and Coach Sutphin gives the green light and it's just a rush and all the kids go. And I know there's kids high-fiving each other that probably don't even really know each other, but everyone's just jacked up and excited. And I just remember the mess and being like, this is so cool. And just having that memory. I still to this day, I'd have to look at a plaque somewhere to tell you who scored in that game or what the score was. I don't remember, but I just remember that moment of the kids running to be like, these kids deserve it. Sure, the 20 soccer players, but the kids over there too. Everybody just deserves this. And this is a cool moment. So.
Awesome. So in all of high school sports, it's really about the guys the athletes that you can get coming through your program, especially in public schools, because there's no recruiting, obviously. So are there any special classes that you guys really love to have or that really helped build the culture or anything, any graduation classes that stick out to you guys?
You talking about like the graduation classes, like class of 2020, like that, and who has?
Yeah.
I'll start with that.
Okay.
Just because I call them my boys. So my boys that just graduated this past year that didn't get to have their senior season, obviously cut short because of COVID. But that's a group of young men that raise the bar of expectation, that set the standard, that'll stay. That won't leave Justice, hopefully forever. And that might lend itself to a story later on about Coach Weisbecker's soccer coaching experience. But, it got to a point where I could have done a pregame speech and done halftime, but I could have sat on the bench and said nothing, right? Like, the boys know where to go. They know what to do. If things weren't going well, someone like Trevor Hirschner would be barking orders before I could bark at Trevor. It was just the system was set and the boys ran it. And the younger guys, they were doing that when they were sophomores and juniors. But I think the most important thing was that for that group of 2020, they could hold their teammates accountable and their teammates wouldn't get upset because they knew my system had been put upon this class of 2020 and they knew it. They had read the book. They had it mastered. So if they were going to hold one of our other contributing players to say, hey, you need to be here instead of there. Hey, you need to do this instead of that. The players would be like, all right, I'm in. There's no debate. There's no conversation. So the class of 2020 was big to what Justice Soccer has been previously, Jeb Stewart, and will continue to be, because we had some studs when we made that playoff run. But we needed the glue guys, and that class of 2020 were the glue guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to compare. Each year, there's just tons of different students that are successful and we have great relationships with. And I think it's interesting because I would probably say the same class, but just notice that me and Forshay are saying the same thing, class of 2020. But it's also the same year that when we both came in, they were all freshmen. So they were able to be with us for 4 straight years. Yeah. So when we talk about playing sports and being involved, it has a huge impact on you as a student, having a mentor, coach, and somebody that really wants you to be successful for 4 years straight, academically, in life, athletically, all that stuff. So that was the first class that we had together for 4 straight years. Now, I can honestly say the same thing about your class as well. You're in your senior year right now, that we've known each other your entire time at Justice. But it's more just reiterating the fact that building relationships with all of our teams for 4 straight years is a huge thing. So if you're not in sports, you're not in clubs, you're not in something yet, join now, because that 4-year impact is really going to, set you up for some success when you go on to graduate and go on to the rest of your life.
And it has a huge impact on us, right?
Yeah.
So my boys will tell you I'm emotional. Like, I'll talk to these kids all the time. It has a huge impact on us too, because we love doing what we're doing. So it's not just hopefully we had that kid for 4 years and he's going to turn out to be something special because we helped him out. Those kids made me a better, a better coach, a better teacher, a better dad, a better husband, all those things too. So it affects us too.
Definitely. So Coach Forshay, you mentioned Coach W coaching the district championship. How I want both of you guys to speak to that. How did that come up, and what Coach W, what was going through your head when Forshay called on you?
Forshay, you could say how it came up, and then I'll.
I'm just gonna give my thought process, and then I'm gonna hand it over, similar to like what the experience. So I could not coach the district championship. It was my brother's wedding, right? So we have to pick some priorities, and obviously family first. And like I talked about earlier, my boys know the deal. They know what the starting 11 is going to be. They know the traditional substitutions are going to be. They know how to play. If this happens, we'll do that. If we go up 1-0, we go down 1-0. So I just needed a guy that was going to rally the troops. I didn't need an X's and O's. I didn't need someone to tell him what to do on a corner kick or what to do this. I needed a leader. So I turned to Coach W and said, hey, this is where I'm at. I want you to kind of be on the bench. We had a first round bye, so I wanted you to be on the bench for the semifinal to just kind of listen. But then I'm going to hand over the keys. And again, it goes back to all the things we said, which we won't, but because I know Coach Weisbecker doesn't know a lot about soccer, but you know what I do know? That the boys respect him. And he was going to be able to lead them. I knew it, and I felt comfortable. So then I handed
Yeah, and I taught and coached them, a lot of them, in PE classes or even like basketball too. So, or in the weight room. And we've been around each other a lot and, went to some practices and games throughout the year. So we were all on the same page. We won't talk about the game. The season went well, the whole season. But it was awesome. It was cool to be, involved and thankful to the guys for, having the respect, and we had a lot of fun. So yeah, it was a cool experience.
Yeah, I'll tell that story forever. It's awesome.
You guys had that planned for a while, right?
Yeah, we knew about it. We wanted to wait till the time was right.
Yeah. I remember talking to you, and Jake and I played in the baseball district championship that same day. And I remember telling you like weeks prior, like, all right, the championship is this day. We're definitely making it. I'm definitely pitching.
Yeah.
You got to go. And you're like, I have something. I can't go. I'm sorry. I'll make another game. So.
Yeah, it was that was an awesome day, for Justice. Multiple district championship games. That was cool. But
Yeah, I think there was 3 that day.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Hang on. Sorry about that. So I do want to just ask both of you guys, what got you into coaching? Why do you coach?
Yeah, that's a huge question. And we're both going to have different stories. I would say, honestly, growing up, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher and coach. My mom was a teacher and my dad was a coach. So just like being around, them and just seeing like their career paths was cool. I also have other family members that are in coaching. My brother-in-law is a football and track coach up in Jersey as well. So just having, family that are in coaching, that was always something. And then also had a lot of high school coaches that had a big impact on me. I still talk to my football and my baseball coach and other teachers from my school. And that's like really impactful towards me because they're staying in touch with me. It's kind of like me staying in touch with you guys. It's not vice versa. So that just, means a lot and had an impact on myself as a high school student and an athlete. But the main reason to want to be a teacher and coach is just to have impact on students and set them up in life, academically, socially, athletically, in any means possible. It's something that's that's number one for myself and my career, is to want to make sure that, you all know that we have your best interest in mind, and we're always going to be somebody that's here to support you no matter what, in any part of your life. So, during high school, college, or whatever you do after you graduate, you move on, you have a family, stay in touch with us, and we want to look out for you guys. And it might sound cheesy, but that's really the reason why. And, if it wasn't because of that, then I probably would be in another career. But, teaching and coaching has been awesome, really. And, I love it. I love my job. I love Justice. Thankful for all of the support that we get in our department. Has been awesome and has allowed us to do our job with a lot of confidence, which leads to success, like we were telling you. So, that's my main reason why. I just want to the impact that I had, I want to have that same impact on others.
Yeah, I'll be short and sharp in the thought that my dad hated going to work every day. He did not like his job, and he was just like, just pick something that you love doing. So once I kind of narrowed down on teaching, I knew I had an opportunity to coach because I had played soccer for so long. And then the more I did coaching, the more I just want to do more of it. And I didn't want to do club because I like my weekends and I like my family time. And I kind of like to see the kids both in a athletic and academic standpoint. So I just took it and ran. And it's led to coaching until I found a spot like Justice where I love it. Been here 5 years, and now I work in the activities office, which I love doing that because now I have my 25 boys, but I have hopefully 800 student athletes at least little bit I affect, hopefully, in a positive way. So, yeah, I love going to work, man.
That's awesome. It's great to hear. I want to backtrack a little bit. Coach W, if you can't make it to a football game, who's stepping in? Is it Forshay or who is it?
Nah, it's probably not Forshay. I mean, you guys know we have a lot of great football coaches. We have a big staff actually this year. Everybody's returning, and we even added a couple more guys. So I have confidence in my coaching staff. So if somebody's stepping in, I'm not going to pick one. I mean, you guys know who runs the show in the different areas in our program. But that's a funny question.
So what's the future look like for Coach Weisbecker and Coach Forshay, coaching wise, career wise? What's the thought process there?
That's a good question.
The broad answer is we're in education for the long haul. We're interested in a variety of different things. So we're both, teacher leaders, coach leaders, educational leaders. We love teaching and coaching. If there's opportunities in the future for administration stuff too, like Coach Forshay, he's in the office, athletics department office right now. But we love teaching and coaching, and if something in the future opens up in education, whether it's an administrator or athletic administrator, that would be an awesome position. But we love what we do right now, so there's really just content with where we're at.
Yeah, we love all those things at Justice. So I've been in a couple different places, and you just find a spot that feels real good, and Justice feels good. So we're happy. So yeah.
Great to hear. Dean, anything to add?
Nothing much to add to that. I'm glad you guys are here for all 4 of my years. Coach W, I know we're very close. Forshay, you never coached me in any sports, but we're boys. So
yeah, this was cool, guys. We're gonna get this posted on the podcast. This is some awesome stuff for our school. Hopefully we can do another one as we progress throughout the year. But thank you both, Jake and Dean, for putting this together. It's been a lot of fun coaching guys over the years. So keep it up, and hopefully we can get on another podcast soon.
Yeah.
It's out. Instagram, Twitter, at Justice Wolves or Justice Sports.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you guys both for taking the time to meet with us today. I think this went very well.
Yeah. See you
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
See ya.
Go Wolves.